Now I am going to explain cross product of two vectors. As I told you, cross product of two vectors is a vector. Dot product of two vectors is scalar, right? A vector cross vector is vector and vector dot vector is scalar. Already we have discussed this dot product. Now the cross product. Cross product of two vectors is a vector. The mathematical form of the cross product of two vectors is what? Mod of A to mod of B sine of angle between A and B and n cap. This is what this is. This total term gives magnitude of new vector of the cross product of these two, and this gives what? Direction. It gives what? Direction of A cross B. If a vector is multiplied with another vector according to this cross product, then we will get a new vector. That new vector magnitude is this and this is the direction, right? Or its magnitude. If you want only magnitude without direction, then so leave this n cap, then you will have simply AB sin theta. Mod means magnitude of this. So no need of direction. So this is what? Magnitude of the cross product of A and B. What is theta here? Angle between A and B. Angle between A vector and B vector is theta. Now we can find the direction of this n cap or A cross B by using right hand thumb rule. So if it is the plane which contains two vectors A and B like this. If this is the plane which contains A and B vectors, angle between these two is theta. So listen carefully here to find the angle between, to know the angle between A and B, A cross B vector. So I am going to explain here now the direction of A cross B by using this right hand thumb rule. So first you can see here we have A vector, then cross product and B vector. First, according to right hand thumb rule, we should stretch this right hand four fingers and thumb like this. So after stretching the four fingers, right hand fingers like this, and keep this right hand palm along the direction of first vector and close these four fingers towards second vector. Then the direction of thumb gives direction of A cross B or n cap. So first keep these four fingers along the direction of first vector and close them towards second vector. This is what? A cross B. To know the direction of B cross A, now keep these four fingers along the direction of B and try to close these four fingers towards A vector. So we cannot close these fingers back towards A. So that is why instead of keeping these fingers like this, you can close comfortably by keeping the right hand four fingers along the direction of B vector like this. Now you can close these fingers, right hand fingers towards A vector happily now like this. So that is what? B cross A is into the plane of this board or into this plane, or A cross B is out of this board or out of this plane like this. This is the direction of A cross B. B cross A is into this plane and A cross B is out of the plane like this. I can draw that. So this is what? This is the line perpendicular to this plane like this. This is what? Direction of A cross B. Or you can show this direction by this n cap. Now B cross A is in opposite direction. This is B cross A. What is the angle between A cross B and B cross A? 180 degrees. These two are not equal. A cross B not same as B cross A. Magnitudes are equal definitely. If this cross product magnitude is 10, this is also 10. Magnitudes are same but directions are opposite. So you can see here how to find the direction of A cross B by using right hand thumb rule. So we should keep these right hand four fingers first along the direction of first vector, and these four fingers so should be closed towards second vector. Then thumb gives direction of A cross B. Keep these four fingers along the direction of first vector, close them towards second vector. This is what A cross B. So B cross A, first keep these four fingers along the direction of B vector, close them towards second vector A. Then this direction into the board gives B cross A. Right? From the diagram you can understand. So there are many points in this diagram. You can see that A cross B direction, A cross B is perpendicular to plane of A vector and B vector, plane of A and B. So A cross B is perpendicular to plane of A and B, right? It means what? That is A cross B vector. A cross B is a new vector. That vector is perpendicular to A vector or perpendicular to B vector and also perpendicular to A plus B also. If you add these two vectors, that resultant vector lie in the same plane of these two. So addition of these two will lie between these two. So that is why that vector also in the same plane of A and B. So that is why A cross B is perpendicular to any vector lying in this plane of A and B. So that is why this A plus B lies in the same plane of A and B, that is perpendicular to A cross B. And this A cross B also perpendicular to B plus A or perpendicular to A minus B also or perpendicular to B minus A also. Remember these points, very important. A cross B is perpendicular to A, perpendicular to B, perpendicular to A plus B, perpendicular to B plus A, perpendicular to A minus B and B minus A also, right? But from the diagram, one more thing you can understand here, angle between A cross B and B cross A is what? 180. This is the direction of A cross B. Angle between A cross B and B cross A is 180 degrees. Both are opposite in direction. So these are very important points. Keep in mind, right? So no need to remember. By watching this diagram, if you are able to draw this, you can write everything easily, these angles. Right? Now properties of cross product. Properties. First one, it doesn't obey commutative law. It doesn't obey commutative law. Means what? A cross B is not equal to B cross A. Reason is both are opposite in direction. So they are not in the same direction. So that order of multiplication is important in vector product. So but whereas in scalar product, A dot B is the same as B dot A. You can do the dot product in any order, but not this cross product. But it obeys anti-commutative law. It obeys anti-commutative law. What is that? Means what? A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. Same as, so but in case of vector addition, A plus B is equal to B plus A. That addition also obeys commutative law, right? But vector difference or vector subtraction, A bar minus B bar not equal to B bar minus A bar, but it obeys anti-commutative. A bar minus B bar is equal to minus of B bar minus A bar. So similar to that subtraction, it obeys anti-commutative law. These two are opposite in direction. What does this equation mean? It means what? The magnitude of A and B is same as magnitude of B cross A. This magnitude and this magnitude is same. Magnitude is same. And A cross B is in opposite direction to B cross A. Opposite direction to B cross A. This is the meaning of this equation. So means what? Angle between these two is 180. Remember this, it doesn't, cross product doesn't obey commutative law, it obeys anti-commutative law, same as that vector subtraction. It doesn't obey associative law. Second one, vector product doesn't obey associative law. For this law verification, we need three vectors. A bar cross of B bar cross C not equal to A bar cross B bar of cross C. So it is this left hand side is not equal to right hand side. So it doesn't obey associative law, but it obeys a distributive law. It obeys a distributive law. For this law also we require three vectors. It means what? A vector cross of B bar plus C bar. This is equal to A bar cross B bar plus A bar cross C bar. It obeys this distributive law. These are the three important laws regarding cross product. Now fourth one, if two vectors are parallel, if A and B vectors are parallel, means angle between them is 0, then the cross product of two vectors A cross B is equal to AB sine 0 into n cap. So this is sine 0 into n cap. So this is 0 into n cap gives what? Null vector. You can say that is O bar or null vector, but not 0. You should not say 0. This is what? Null vector. Cross product of two vectors, if they are parallel to each other, is null vector. But if you take magnitude, magnitude of cross product of two parallel vectors is 0. This is 0. Magnitude is 0. Remember this, two parallel vectors cross product is null vector if two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Fifth one, not only this, if those are anti-parallel for 180 degrees also you will get same. For 180 degrees also, parallel or anti-parallel vectors you will get the same. 180 degrees, sine 180 also 0, so null vector. If two vectors are perpendicular, if A vector is perpendicular to B, is perpendicular to, if A and B are perpendicular, that is theta is 90, then cross product magnitude I am writing, magnitude is AB sine 90, that is maximum, that is AB. AB is the maximum magnitude of the cross product of two vectors. So this cross product of two vectors lies between AB and 0. It never be negative, right? That is the range of magnitude of cross product of A and B. Remember that. Now the sixth one is cross product of the same vector with itself. A cross A is what? Mod of A into mod of A sine 0 into n cap, right? This is what? Sine 0 is 0, 0 into n cap is null vector. Again this is null vector. Or if you take the magnitude A cross A, magnitude is 0. The magnitude of cross product of the same vector with itself is 0. But whereas in dot product we have written A dot A is what? A square. But here not A cross A not equal to A square. Remember that point is important here. So remember that. Now seventh property, I cross I is, I cross I, same A cross A is, that is A cross A is null vector, J cross J is also null vector, K cross K, this is null vector, cross product of any two similar vectors or magnitude is I cross I, j cross j, k cross k. Magnitude is what? 0. And cross product of two perpendicular unit vectors I cross j. Now you can write this is what? I mod of I mod of j, angle between these two, sine of angle between these two, sine 90 n cap, right? So this is 1, this is mod of this j vector is 1, sine 91 n cap. So I cross j gives n cap. What is n cap here? It is perpendicular to plane of these two vectors. So this generally I vector shows direction of positive x-axis, j cap shows direction of positive y-axis. Now the cross product of these two, to understand the direction of cross product of two vectors, you can apply this right hand thumb rule. You can see here. First keep these four fingers along the direction of I cap, close them towards second vector. By closing this, so you will get the direction of I cross j perpendicular to this plane of I and j, that is what? Along positive z axis. Means what? This is k cap. So it means what? The direction of I cross j is given by k. So the direction of these two cross product of two vectors is along the direction of k cap. This is what? K cap. N cap is what? K cap is here. That is k. Similarly, we can write j cross k and k cross I. So instead of checking every time like that, you can follow this simple cycle. So we have a cycle to remember this cross product easily. So the cross product of these two, I cross j is this. If I multiply the vectors in this cyclic manner, I cross j is k cap. Now cross product of these two, I'll write here. I'll write this cycle here at the top. You can see here, this is I cap, this is j and k cap. Now cross product of these two, I cap cross j cap. The cross product of these two is this, k cap. Now cross product of these two is j cap cross k cap is this, I cap. And cross product of these two, what is that? K cap cross I cap is j. If you take this product in reverse manner or in anti-clockwise direction, you will get negatives. Means what? I'll write this all here. I cross j is k cap and j cap k is I cap and k cross I is j cap, right? If I take this product in reverse manner like this, or you can write j, this one. If I come like this or like this, so j cross I is what? J cross I is minus k, or this k cross j is minus I, and this k cross j is minus I. Now I cross k, this cross product of these two, I cross k is minus j. So these are the unit vectors, no need to remember, this is enough. So if you take the order in reverse, you will get negative sign, because a cross b is equal to minus b cross a. If you interchange these two, you will get minus sign here. That's it. Clear? This is important. Remember, this is important. So without knowing this rule, we cannot multiply a vector with another vector according to cross product. Now the next property. Next property is what? If you have two vectors like this, ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, and b vector is bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap, two vectors. Now the determination of a cross b. So instead of taking these two here and multiplying directly, we can follow this matrix method. So I, J, K. You can see first A is there. First take components of A vector. Here Ax, Ay, Az. Next B vector is there. Take components of B vector, Bx, By, Bz. Right? Now the simple method to find the cross product, when I take this I component first. So when we take this I, leave this row and this column, and you will have these four like this: Ay, Az, By, Bz. Now you can do the det matrix. So determinant of matrix AD minus BC. You can follow this AD minus BC is what? The product of these two minus these two. So I am going to do that. So the product of these two is what? AY. So first I. This I component of this A cross B is now AY BZ minus this AZ BY. That's it. That is the I component of A cross B. A cross B I component is this. Next for J we take negative. So I is positive, J negative, again K positive. That is the rule to take the cross product. Now when we take this J component, leave this column now and this row. You will have this 4 now. Ax bz. Now cross multiplication of these two and these two. What do we get? Ax bz minus this into this, bx az. Next for k, in the same manner. For k, when you take this k term, leave the k corresponding column. This, it should be left. Leave this, then this into this into this. So k cap is what? Ax by minus bx ay. So this is A cross B. Or at the last you can also find its magnitude. Mod of this is what? Square root of this, square root of square of this plus square of that and square of that. Right? This is the important method. So remember this. Clear? These are the properties of cross product. Examples of cross product. I think in 10th class you have studied force acting on a charged particle in magnetic field moving with certain velocity is QVB sin theta. Force on a charged particle moving with certain velocity V in magnetic field is QVB sin theta, Q of V cross B. So VB sin theta means V cross B. This cross product is what? VB sin theta. So this is the best example for cross product, and also force on a current carrying conductor. So if you have a conductor carrying current I placed inside the magnetic field, its length is L, so that it making some angle with the direction of the field, then the force on that current carrying conductor is I of L cross B, but actually BIL sin theta, that is the magnitude. So this is also another equation. Or also we frequently use the formula for torque. Torque is equal to the position vector and the external force, R cross F. R is the position vector and F is the force vector. Their cross product gives torque. And also we use angular momentum vector. L bar is equal to R cross linear momentum, R cross P. This is also position vector. And fifth one, a linear velocity of a body making circular motion, V bar is equal to omega cross R bar. So these are the examples for a cross product. So they provide R vector and F vector, and you are asked magnitude of torque, right? We will discuss everything in detail in its corresponding chapter. This will be discussed in rotational dynamics. This is in second year, intermediate second year in electromagnetism, and this is also in the same chapter, right? No need to worry about this formulae, right? Just remember the equations. Now let us find the cross product of two vectors. If A is equal to 2i plus 3j plus 4k and B is equal to 3i plus 4j and k cap, then the determination of A cross B. Listen carefully. So how to find the cross product of these two? You can see here. First take this unit vectors. First you have A here. So otherwise if you have a B cross A, first to take B components, right? Here you have A, we should take components of A first, 2, 3, 4, and then components of B vector, 3, 4, 1. Now first this I component. For I component of A cross B, leave this column now, this row, this into this. So 3 into 1 is 3 minus this into this, that is 4 into 4 is 16. Next minus J. When you take J, here leave this column, leave J corresponding column, and this into this. 2 into 1 is 2 minus 3 into 4 minus 12. Next k component. So to write k corresponding component, leave its column and this row. Now the multiplication of these two minus these two. This is what 2 into 4, 8 minus 3 into 3 is 9. It gives what? This difference is minus 13 I cap. And this is what? Minus 10, minus of minus plus 10j, and this is what? Minus k cap. This is A cross B. It is a vector, you can see here. This is vector, cross product of two vectors is a vector. Now the mod of that, to find magnitude of that, we can write root of minus 13 square plus 10 square and minus 1 square. This is root 169 plus 100 and 1. This is equal to 170 plus this is totally root 270. That is the magnitude of cross product of these two vectors. Clear? Now, applications of this. Applications. Applications of cross product. If two vectors A and B are parallel, that is theta 0. Just now I told you cross product of two parallel vectors is 0 magnitude. Or if you have two vectors like this, A bar is equal to Ax I cap plus Ay j cap Az k cap, and B vector is Bx I cap plus By j cap plus Bz k cap. If these two vectors are parallel, instead of checking cross product, you can follow this simple method. Ax by Bx equal to Ay by By equal to Az by Bz. This is equal to constant k. So if two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, this components of the similar components ratio, x components ratio, y components ratio, z components ratio is same. So if k is positive, then angle between two vectors is 0. If this constant is positive, then a and b are parallel, angle is 0. If k is negative, they are anti-parallel, then angle between those two vectors is 180. Remember this condition, very important to check whether two vectors are parallel or not. By using cross product, you can find area of triangle and area of parallelogram. Now you can see how to find area of triangle. To find area of triangle by using cross product. If two vectors are the two adjacent sides of a triangle like this AB and angle between these two is theta, and this is one more side. If it is C vector, if you know these two sides, and you can see here what is the basic formula for area of the triangle. Area of triangle is half base into height. So what is the base for this triangle? If it is the our triangle base and this side length, and this is h, this is the height. So what is the base? Magnitude of this A vector. Magnitude of A vector, base is this, and this is h. What is h? You can see here from this triangle, right angle triangle. So this side is h, this is theta, this side length is magnitude of this B vector. So you can see sin theta is equal to h by b. So h equal to b sin theta. So this is equal to what? Height is, so what? Magnitude of b into sin theta. So mod of a into mod of b sin theta is what? That is mod of a cross b. So this is the area of triangle. So if any two adjacent sides are represented by two vectors, then so half of the magnitude of cross product of two vectors is equal to the area of the triangle. Not only this, or you can write here, it's this area, this is equal to, so half A cross C or half B cross C also same. It gives the area. The half of the magnitude of cross product of any two sides of triangle gives its area. Remember this. And area of parallelogram, determination of area of parallelogram by cross product. Third application, area of parallelogram. If it is the parallelogram, this side is represented by vector A, this is vector B. If angle between these two is theta. Again, if I divide this triangle into two parts, this is what? This is A, this is also A, this is B. These are two symmetric triangles. So if I say this area is A1, this is A2, the total area is A1 plus A2. If this area and this area is same, so you can say what is the area of that parallelogram? 2 times of area of this each triangle. I can write area of parallelogram is equal to 2 times of area of this each triangle. This triangle area plus this triangle area is gives what? The total area of the parallelogram. Area of this triangle. So this is a 2. What is the area of this triangle? Just now we have written half A cross B. This 2 cancel, it gives mod of A cross B. If two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are represented by two vectors, then the magnitude of cross product of those two vectors gives the area of the parallelogram. So half of A cross B gives area of this. The mod of A cross B gives total area of parallelogram. Remember this. This is important. Sometimes instead of providing adjacent sides, they provide diagonals of a parallelogram. By providing diagonals, so we are asked area of the parallelogram. You can see here. That is very easier, very simple. Listen carefully. Instead of providing adjacent side, if they provide, this is the diagonal one, represented by vector d1, diagonal 1. This is the diagonal 2. This is d2. So this you can see here. So by watching this, you can see there are 4 symmetric triangles. So if I take this triangle first, there are 3 symmetric triangles. If it is A, the total area is 4 times of area of this. Means what? Here area of parallelogram is equal to 4 times of area of this shaded triangle. 4 times of area of this above triangle, right? 4 times of area of this shaded triangle, right? What is the area of this shaded triangle? So you can see half this side into this side. What is this side? Up to here d1. This is what? So I can draw that shaded triangle here. So up to here, this side is what? d1 by 2. So this is half of this diagonal, and this is what? This side is d2 by 2. This side is d2 by 2. Now these are the 2 adjacent sides. Then cross product of these 2 gives what? Area of this. What is that? d1 by 2 cross d2 by 2. So half of the magnitude of cross product of 2 vectors gives what? Area of this triangle. Area of this triangle is this. Into 4 gives the total area of a parallelogram. I think understood. This 4 and 4 cancel. So it gives half of the magnitude of cross product of the diagonals. So this is very important. So if these are the 2 adjacent sides, if it is A vector and B vector, then its area is, or it is equal to what? Mod of A cross B. If they provide adjacent sides in vectors, then you can do the magnitude cross